For women, there's an annual appointment that they may want to avoid, but it's extremely important for evaluating their womanly well-being. Dr. William Todia is here with the checklist for that vital checkup. Dr. Todia is the Vice Chairman of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Metro Health. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lori.
So of course we're talking about the yearly OB/GYN appointment that many women don't want to go to, but what's involved in that exam?
So the exam involves, from our focus, from a gynecologic focus, a full breast exam and a pelvic exam, which is an examination of the vaginal tissues, the cervix, the uterus, and the ovaries.
Okay.
And then in addition, we do less exam, but of the abdomen and other areas of concern.
Okay. Now, is a pap smear always a part of the annual exam?
It's not anymore. For many years, it was kind of synonymous with the annual GYN checkup, but what we've learned over the last 10 to 20 years is that thankfully cervical cancer decreases with age, and so we've been able to decrease the frequency of pap tests, and we've also learned a lot about that HPV, which is a virus, is the primary driver and cause of cervical abnormalities in cervical cancer, and so we've been able to incorporate that testing with pap tests in order to then decrease how often it has to be done.
So one good thing about growing older, less testing for that. Now when a pap smear is performed, what's involved exactly in that procedure?
So a pap smear is done with, we have to see the cervix, which involves placing a speculum to see the cervix, and then we use a tiny brush to swab the cervix for what we're looking at is, or we're trying to get at the cells on the outside of the cervix. So there's a little spatula and a little brush that touches the outside of the cervix. Okay.
So you're testing the cervix for the cancer, and then that HPV virus you mentioned?
Correct. And it can be, and it's done together, or can be done together in the same specimen, same technique, so it doesn't require a different test, and you wouldn't know any different in the exam whether we're doing both.
It's not two things.
No, it's not two things. It does not take more time. It's not more painful.
All right, that's a good thing. So, of course, if a woman has any questions that they have about themselves, their body, any abnormalities or anything, they're going to bring them to the appointment.
Correct.
But aren't there a list of questions that the physician also asks the woman?
Yes, so in women who are in their 50s and 60s, but we're focusing on different things than women who are coming for childbirth or in their reproductive childbirth years. So we're interested in periods, and usually after 51 or so, most women go through menopause and the periods stop. But then we ask whether there's any bleeding or abnormal bleeding, because that could be a sign of an abnormality. We focus on breast health and breast exam and breast masses and annual mammograms. We focus on then are there other problems with urinary symptoms, because those tend to increase with time and age, and also menopausal symptoms. So after menopause, hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, those things also can be an issue, so we ask about those symptoms.
All right, sounds like a pretty comprehensive and specialized review. So women, we know that it may not be your favorite appointment to make, but having a gynecological exam once a year is time well spent to take care of your health. My thanks to Dr. Todia for taking the time to be with us today.
To learn more, call Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or visit www.metrohealth.org. Next, he answered the call and saved 3 lives.